Hello and welcome to Non-Inkables. We're going to do new cards today. There are so many new cards. It's in that part of, I feel like, reveal season where I just feel like I'm trying to drink from a fire hose and choking on cards. All right, so we'll go in order of, I guess, by color again, since that seems to be pretty easy. So we have this card, Simba Happy-Go-Lucky, 2-cost inkable card in amber, 1 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1, vanilla card, and has the flavor text of, look at that water and those birds. Wow, wait till Timon and Pumbaa see this. So you can see that it has like a little pen thing. That means that it is written specifically for lore, which they confirmed, I think, in the last lore cast. The next card we have is Prince Naveen, who I have to say looks a little crazy. He's got a little bit of crazy eyes in this photo. Prince Naveen, Carefree Explorer, 2-cost inkable card, 2 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1, and his little flavor text says, dance, little friends, fill the air with light and joy. Wow, it's like watching music come to life. I don't know, it looks really creepy. I think it's the eyes. It's like you see too much of the white of the eyes. It's like that. And I'm assuming these are all the fireflies that maybe Ray hangs out with. Yeah, but your standard 2-cost, 2/3 card. And then next we have Chief Bogo, Gazelle fan. Gazelle, remember, is the gazelle that's voiced by Shakira. So Chief Bogo is a 4-cost inkable card, 4 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1. And his ability is, you like Gazelle too? While you have a character named Gazelle in play, this character gains Singer 6, which is kind of cool. He's like inspired by Gazelle so that he can also be a singer. And then anytime I say singer now, I always say, 'cause I'm a singer, I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer. Okay, next we have Grand Councilwoman from Lilo and Stitch, Federation Leader. She is a 2-cost inkable card, 1 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1, and her ability is Find It. Whenever this character quests, your other alien characters get +1 this turn. So I think the only alien characters we have are Stitch and like Gantu and Jumbo-Jukiba and like other stuff from this realm. All right, and then next, let's see, we've got Rabbit, Indignant Pirate. Indignant. I don't know. English is my second language. I can't really use that as an excuse. Okay, so 1-cost inkable card, 1/2 in amber, quest for 1. His ability is Be More Careful. When you play this character, you may remove up to 1 damage from chosen character. So you get a start. Right now, the earliest healing we have, I think, character-wise, is Julieta at 3. But when she heals, you get a card. This one, you do not get a card. This is kind of like questing and using, like, I don't know, Magic Golden Flower or Healing Glow or one of those other action item cards that nobody uses. Okay, next we have Pooh Pirate Ship. I think this one is new. So 1-cost uninkable item in amber, and its ability is Make a Rescue. You can exert, pay 3 ink, return a pirate character from your discard to your hand. So pirate deck. And then the flavor text is the friendliest ship on the Azurite Sea. And of course, Pooh would be friendly. It's Pooh Bear. And that is it for the new cards for amber. So we will move on to amethyst. First one is Hades, ruler of the underworld. I love Hades. One of my favorite, all-time favorite characters. So 6 costs, uninkable card, 3 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 3, which is a lot, but also dies to Medusa. So his ability is called Soul Collector. Whenever one of your other characters is banished during the opponent's turn, gain 2 lore. So basically, if if your opponent attacks you and you trade, then you get 2 lore. Just interesting, because then, but it's any banished. So even if they were to that's the only way their character would get banished. Oh, I suppose if they were running Amber and they were playing Broom and Chernobog followers, they could banish that character to get a card, but then you would get 2 lore. So kind of interesting. Also kind of makes your opponent not want to attack you with their characters. Let's see, no. Whenever one of your other characters is banished. Yeah, this is like a reverse Lyle. So this is like, Lyle is whenever one of your other characters is banished, you lose lore. And this one is like the opposite. Instead of your opponent losing lore, you gain lore. So let's say, okay, Let's say you had a Lyle and a Hades out, and they attacked one of your characters because they're dumb and they didn't realize you had both of those characters out. Potentially, they could be down net 3 because they would lose lore and you would gain 2 lore. But I mean, it doesn't have ward and it's a 3/4, so they would probably just Medusa this before they attack anything else. So I don't know. And it's uninkable and it doesn't shift. I have a lot of problems with this card. All right, next one we have is Rafiki, Shaman of the Savannah. 1 cost, inkable card, 2/2, vanilla, nothing special, quest for 1. And the flavor text is, the signs, they never lie. The snake thinks he's planned for everything. Oh ho ho, he's forgot about the owl. There's hope yet. What the heck? Who's the snake? Okay, is the snake like, what snakes do we know? Madam Mim snake? We know Sir Hiss. We know Jafar as a snake. I feel like there's another snake because the snake in Jungle Book is similar to the snake in Robin Hood. They're both snakes. And then I'm guessing the owl is either Archimedes or the owl from Winnie the Pooh, whose name I can't remember right now. Is it just owl? Because rabbit is just rabbit. I can't remember. Anyways, interesting. These flavor texts are giving a lot of hints. Okay, next we have the Carpenter, Dinner Companion. So he is a 2 cost inkable card, 1/1, quest for 1, so pretty weak. And his ability is, I'll get you. When this character is banished, you may exert chosen character. I feel like there's a lot of ways to get around this. I don't know how useful this will be. And the flavor text says, the Carpenter's stomach growled as he clenched his hammer tight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a good think about how to make this work in a deck. I don't know. The next one we have is Genie, Wish Fulfilled. So this is a 4 cost, uninkable card, 2 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 2, has evasive, and then has what happens now when you play this character, draw a card. I feel like we talked about this card. Basically like a Dolores, kind of. And his flavor text says, oh, does that feel good? Okay, pause. And then next we have Mama Odie, 5 cost uninkable card, 4 strength, 5 willpower, so kind of a big body for 5 cost. And she quests for 1, and her ability is, I have to do everything around here. Whenever you play a song, you may move 2 damage counters from chosen character to chosen opposing character. So kind of like a bell with songs. Yeah, interesting. And then next we have A Very Merry Birthday from Alice in Wonderland. It is a 1 cost action and it is a song, and it says each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their deck into their discard. Ooh, you could combine this with like Merlin's Cottage in Blurple, where everyone plays with the top card exposed, and you'd be like, oh, I don't want you to have those cards. Discard. A Very Merry Birthday. And the flavor text says, now blow the candle out, my dear, and make your wish come true. Next we have Lose the Way, also from Alice in Wonderland. It is a 2 cost inkable card action, and its ability is Lose the Way. Exert chosen character, then you may choose and discard a card. If you do, the exerted character can't ready at the start of their next turn. So essentially you're discarding a card to pay for a freeze, but you could do it to something that wasn't previously exerted. Interesting. It's like kind of breaking up Elsa's powers into little pieces. Next, we have a Mystical Tree, Mama Odie's Home, so a location card. 2 cost inkable, costs 1 to move there, has 7 willpower, and has 2 abilities. 1 is not bad. At the start of your turn, you may move 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character. And then the other ability is Hard-Earned Wisdom. At the start of your turn, if you have a character named Mama Odie here, gain 1 lore. So I feel like all the Mama Odie stuff has to be like in a Blurple deck, because Mama Odie exists basically in Blurple. Yeah. Okay. Next, we will move on to Emerald. Okay, we have Dawson, Basil's assistant. He is a 4 cost inkable card, 3 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 2. So a vanilla card, and his flavor text says, my word, he must be around here somewhere. Basil, shout if you, and then it looks like he's sliding down the slide that's in the Great Illuminary that was in the trailer of Shimmering Skies. Maybe, I don't know, I might be wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Next, we have Heathcliff, Stoic Butler, 4 cost inkable card, 3/3, quest for 2. He has ward. And his flavor text says loyal butler, practice target, helicopter pilot, and completely unflappable. He is from Big Hero 6. So he is the butler to Fred, the guy who's like a mascot and is like super rich. Next, we have Basil Hypnotized Mouse. 3 cost inkable card, 3 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 1, has evasive, and his flavor text says, footprints from a large ... owl? Question mark, with droplets of water. Clearly, some avian menace has crossed the Azurite Sea and absconded with the crown. So it looks like he's been hypnotized by Jafar, probably, and has gone to the dark side. Or maybe he was never unhypnotized by Ursula in Ursula's Return. Maybe she wasn't truly defeated. We don't know. Okay, next we have Jasmine, Royal Commodore, which always makes me think of Commodore like the bird, the pelican, even though I think it's like a captain, commander type term from my limited knowledge based on Pirates of the Caribbean. So she is a 6 cost inkable card, 5 strength, 5 willpower. So I think that's the same. I was going to say Jim Hawkins, but I think it's 1 stronger than Jim Hawkins. She quests for 2 and she shifts on 5. And her ability is Ruler of the Seas. When you play this character, if you use shift to player, return all other exerted character to their player's hands. So whenever it says like all other, I always think like, oh, this would be good in multiplayer. So it works almost. The other thing we have that returns characters to people's hands is like Emerald Chromacon or like Kit. So she's kind of like a mass return, or Milo Thatch also. When he's banished, it returns all the players' cards to their hands. So it might be good for like if you just need 1 more turn to win and you want them not to quest. And they don't have an ability to quest without like having the character be played and drawing. Okay, next we have another Gazelle card, now in Emerald. So 2 cost inkable card, 1, 2, quest for 1, and her ability is you are a really hot dancer. When you play this character, chosen character gains evasive until the start of your next turn. So that's kind of like, it's like better than the ability that Tinkerbell gives because hers is just for that 1 turn. Yes, you could give a character evasive and they could take out Diablo. I feel like every time evasive is even mentioned, I'm just like, ooh, can take out Diablo. All right, next we have Bellwether Assistant Mayor. So she is from Zootopia. Spoiler alert, she's evil. 3 cost, uninkable card. 2 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1. And her ability is Fear Always Works. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, chosen opposing character gains Reckless during their next turn. So if you are inking once per turn, at least one of their characters will gain Reckless. If you are inking 2 times per turn because you're playing like green, blue, and you're ramping, 2 of their characters can gain Reckless. Man, this would really like this can really mess with Hirams and stuff. Interesting. I don't know if it's worth it for the uninkable likeness of it. All right, next card we have is Heffalumps and Woozles. 2 cost, inkable card. This is from Winnie the Pooh. If you've ever gone on the Winnie the Pooh ride in Disney, this features very heavily, and it is a very, how would I describe that? Psychedelic and weird ride, but fun and almost never has a line. So 2 cost, inkable card, and chosen opposing character can't quest during their next turn. So essentially, I mean, they don't technically gain Reckless because they don't have to attack, and also lets you draw a card. So that's kind of nice. And the flavor text says, if honey is what you covet, you'll find that they love it. And that comes from a song because it has that little treble clef symbol. All right, moving on. That is it for Emerald. So now we can move on to Ruby. Ruby, we have John Silver, Dangerous Friend. 4 cost, uninkable card, 2 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 2. His ability is you have to chart your own course. Whenever this character quests, you may deal 1 damage to one of your other characters. If you do, ready that character, they cannot quest this turn. So kind of like the action card we have in Ruby that's like on your feet. It like deals 1 damage to everybody and readies everybody. It's like that, but just 1, I suppose. Next, we have Mickey Mouse, Courageous Sailor. So 3 cost, inkable card, 2 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1. Has the ability Solid Ground. While this character has a location, he gets +2 attack. I feel like this would match well with in a steel deck with those steel cards like Minnie Mouse Spelunker, and there's like a Milo Thatch that gains stuff when at a location. And then maybe you play like the new Speedway card where you can move there for free, or like maybe a cheap location like Jolly Roger. I don't know. And his flavor text is, golly, this looked a lot easier from the ship, but I know I can make it. The crew is counting on me. I don't have to go through all of these flavor texts because I feel like they're trying to tell us a story here. Okay, next we have, let's see, Scar, Heartless Hunter. So the art on this looks crazy. It's like Scar, it's got the hyenas, but then they're kind of like weirdly, I don't know, the focus is like just on Scar, and they're like in a different, like almost like they're darker, so they're like in the background, even though some of them are technically in the foreground. I don't know. I really like the art. It's very dynamic. So this is a 5-cost uninkable card, 4 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 3, which is a lot, and has the ability Bared Teeth. When you play this character, deal 2 damage to chosen character of yours to deal 2 damage to chosen character. So essentially it comes with a teeth and ambition. Unfortunately, if this is the only character you have on the board, you just get rid of your own character. So you're paying for 5-cost teeth and ambitions. That would be horrible. And this is obviously weak against steel. They can let the storm rage on. They can probably strength, raging fire it. Pretty weak against steel, and doesn't even have rush. Okay, anyways, the flavor text says, it's for the greater good. I'm sure you understand. Scar. This sounds very Grindelwaldy, for the greater good. Okay, and then last card in Ruby is Gold Coin. Okay, it's a 1-cost item, and the ability is Glittering Access. So exert, pay 1 ink, banish this item, ready chosen character of yours. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. So this is kind of like a cheaper Shield of Virtue, which makes me think, ooh, do I want to put this in a item deck with the queen? And then I can just ready her, and it'll only cost me 1 ink to use instead of 3. Because my issue with Shield of Virtue is I always thought it was too expensive. And I don't mind banishing it because I feel like I only ever use Shield of Virtue like once anyways. So yeah, more, oh man, I'm gonna have to play Ida. Okay, moving on, we are going to go to Sapphire. Sapphire, we have Nick Wilde, Clever Fox. This, if I didn't know this was Nick Wilde, I would not have recognized this as Nick Wilde. I feel like the art style is different and he looks very different. He almost looks like Studio Ghibli-ish. Anyways, he is a 3-cost inkable card, 1/3, quest for 1. He shifts on 1. So I'm guessing you can play a 1-cost character and then shift him on 2. And his ability is, you can't touch me. While you have an item in play, this character can't be challenged. The only problem is this character is rather weak, and so could get baby sea suit, could get brawled, could get, I guess you can't let the storm rage on, so maybe a little bit resistant to steel and to like teeth and ambition, but I don't know. I mean, at 2 you have like, how would you even play this? Okay, because only when there's an item in play, this character can't be challenged, right? But so if you play an item on 1 and then on 2, I guess you could play something and then shift it, but then that doesn't make sense. So I guess on 1 you would have to play a 1-cost Nick Wilde. On 2 you would play an item and then also shift this and quest him, and he would be protected. Only quest for 1. I don't know. I don't think that's a very good card. TBH. All right. Next we have Helping Hand. This is the cutest bunny ever. Gary says that I look like this bunny. So yay. That means I look adorable. Okay. So 1-cost uninkable card. It is a Sapphire action. It says chosen character gains support during this turn. Draw a card. So you get to draw a card. And then it says, when you're making the world a better place, every little thing helps. Judy Hopps. And she's holding out, I don't know, what is that? Like a badge? Maybe? Or maybe like a amber chromacon, something. She's giving it to Bellwether, which is not good because Bellwether is the villain, secret villain, but interesting. Okay, next we have Prepare Your Bot. 1-cost inkable card. Big Hero 6. It's like his little magnetic robot thingies. And its abilities are, you can either ready chosen items, so you could redime, you could requill, you could Great Stone Dragon, you could Shield of Virtue, you could I feel like those are the main ones. Like you could double Ruby Chromacon, you could double Ice Block, and then the other ability is ready chosen robot character. They can't quest for the rest of the turn. I feel like we don't have enough robots for that, but Very interesting, very intriguing. Next, we have Jumbo Pop. 3 cost uninkable item in Sapphire. You banish this item, remove up to 2 damage from each of your characters, draw a card. So kind of like an expensive popsicle, which makes sense because it's Jumbo Pop. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like most of the time now, characters don't get damage left on them because of cards like Rapunzel, and so they're banished for good in one go. But who knows? Who knows? All right. Next we have Rescue Rangers Submarine Mobile Headquarters. 2 cost inkable card in Sapphire. Costs 1 to move there. 8 willpower, so pretty strong. And its ability is Planning Session. At the start of your turn, if you have a character here, you may put the top card of your deck into your inkwell face down and exerted. So essentially, if you have a character here, you can 1-jump ahead every single turn, which is kind of cool. Although my only thing with 1-jump ahead is that you can't see what you're putting into your inkwell, and I have accidentally inked my lucky dimes, and then I will go through my deck trying to look for my lucky dimes, and then I will mill myself looking for lucky dimes that aren't actually there. All right, next we have some new steel cards. So definitely more than before, and I'm very happy about that because last time I was like, we have no steel cards. We had like 3, so now we have like 4 more. This first one is King Hubert, Philip's father. So from Sleeping Beauty, it's the prince's father. 3 cost inkable card, 3 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1. And he is a vanilla card, and his flavor text says, I told you we find an island eventually. Excellent navigating. Yes, yes, I'm quite proud. Now a toast to our success. Makes me think he didn't do anything. Yeah, probably not. I mean, he is a king. He doesn't really have to do anything. That's what his people are for. And then next we have John Silver, so more Treasure Planet cards. 3 cost inkable, 3 strength, 3 willpower, quests for 1, and has the ability Hunk of Hardware. When you play this character, chosen character can't challenge during their next turn. So that freezes something. That's pretty cool. And he also has like a villain, he's an alien, he's a pirate, he's a captain, so you could go into a bunch of decks. Because as a captain, he could protect Smee from getting damage. As a pirate, he can move Jolly Roger for free. As an alien, he can get an additional lore from that. What's her face? The Grand Councilwoman. And he's a villain, so you could go in a villain deck. Oh, one of our locals places is hosting a villain deck for Halloween. It's going to be like literally the day we get back from Seattle, so I'm not sure if we're going to go. But interesting idea. Maybe that's what I will do in Seattle on day 2 at the end, is figure out a deck. All right. Now we have Billy Bones, Space Sailor, 3 cost inkable card, 2 strength, 2 willpower, quest for 2, and has the ability Keep It Hidden. When this character is banished, you may banish chosen item or location. That's kind of cool. You can get rid of Queen's Castle for so cheap. And his flavor text is, he'll be coming soon, can't let them find this. And this is actually from the movie, because it's like a little book. So it's like the lore of the Treasure Planet movie, where he has the map of Treasure Planet and he leaves it with Jim Hawkins. In this picture, he has, I'm not sure what that is, a box. Maybe that is the map of Treasure Planet. But it seems like definitely in the background is the Azurite Sea, because you can see those like, what looks to be mountains, but they're made out of waves. All right, next we have Mickey Mouse Watch, Night Watchman. 3 cost inkable card, 2 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 2, has support. Your Pluto characters get resist +1. And it has the flavor text, oh dear, Donald was right. It's scary out there in the dark. I can't do a Mickey Mouse voice, but I guess this would have to go into a amber steel deck because all the Plutos are mostly amber, except for, no, I think all the Plutos are amber. All right. And then we have Jafar, Power Hungry Vizier. 5 cost uninkable card, 3 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 1, has the ability, you will be paid when the time comes. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, deal 1 damage to chosen character. This guy has half of the crown, and in the background is like the thing in the illuminary that normally holds the crown, like suspended. So I'm going to say Jafar stole the crown, maybe in his snake form, or maybe with his like snake staff, like he hypnotized somebody. But it seems like Jafar is the one who stole the Hexwell crown. We can put him behind bars. We see who has done it. Okay. And his flavor text says, the power of the shattered crown is formidable, but not enough. If I had both halves of the Hexwell crown, I could rule all of Lorcana. Oh my goodness, no, please don't. You are the worst. And also, you made a very inappropriate Sexy Jasmine in the red dress. All right. And the last card we have is Sunglasses, worn by Cobra Bubbles from Lilo & Stitch. This is a 6-cost item. You can exert it. Spycraft is the ability. Exert, draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So it seems kind of expensive for that ability, but you can combine it with Sheriff of Nottingham. I think it's that one, where every time you discard a card, you can deal a damage. There's like some combos that can work out there, because I played against a deck like that in set 3 that was Ruby Steel, so maybe this would go well in that deck. And that is all the cards so far as of right now. I'm sure there's going to be a ton more the minute I stop recording and post this. There's going to be a bazillion more, as there always is during release season. But I'm excited. We are going to Disney for the release on November 15th so that we can get cards from Disneyland. And also just as an excuse to go to Disneyland, also because the holiday food will be out. And I love their holiday churros and stuff. So I'm excited for this set. I feel like also once set 6 comes out, there is like a local competition where set 6 is legal. I think the week after that, or maybe like 2 weeks after that, it's like one where set 6 has barely been legal and like has only been out to the major stores for like a day. But it's a Battle of the Bay, I think is what it's called. I'll put a link in the description below for that competition if you're in the Bay. You can represent a store or like a team, I think. So we're going to be going as Team Non-Inkables, because technically we have a TCG player store. It is currently non-active. It's currently closed because I'm kind of saving up cards to trade at Seattle. And then once Seattle is over, it will be back open and cards will be posted again. So sorry that it's closed. And there's going to be a ton of cards because I managed to snag a deal on Amazon for Ursula's Return booster boxes for $80 each. It was so cheap. And then plus like 5% off because of Amazon. And then I think I have like a gift card and like rewards points or something. It was super cheap to get 8 boxes. It was insane. And they actually all shipped. So now I know for sure I'm going to get them, because a lot of times I think when you order booster boxes on Amazon, they cancel your order and they don't ship, which is what happened to a lot of people when they bought first chapter boxes, because there was a brief like few minute period where they had first chapter boxes at MSRP on Amazon. I did snag like 4 of them when those went up, because I happened to be on my computer when the alert came through from Trekalaka. I think that's what the company's called, where they alert you when there's like price changes. And we got an Elsa from one of those boxes, which was super exciting. I was like, oh, well, this made the whole thing worth it. And the fact that I got these boxes at MSRP, it was like win, 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 super win. But yeah, so those boxes have actually shipped. And so I'm sure I'm going to have a bunch of cards to sell/trade. So if you see me in Seattle, come find me. I will probably have cards for trade. And if not, check our store after Seattle and there will be cards up for sale. So that is it for the new cards so far of Azurite Sea. There's still a lot of missing ones, I would say mostly from Steel. And all right, that's it. As always, keep shuffling and hopefully you don't end up with a whole handful of non-inkables like me. All right, bye.